Have you ever thought your daily habits might be cutting your life short? Most people assume it's the big, dramatic events that impact our health the most. But the truth is, it's the subtle habits we repeat every day that often do the most damage, over time. You might think you're doing okay because you don't feel anything wrong at the moment, but some of the most harmful behaviors are the ones that feel comfortable and familiar. They sneak in, gradually become routine, and over time, silently undermine the foundation of your well-being. In this video, we're diving into 8 common habits that may be shortening your lifespan. Habits that many older adults carry with them without even thinking twice. From poor sleep patterns to overlooked daily routines, each of these habits carries more weight than you might expect. We're not here to scare you. We're here to help you take back control of your health, confidence, and vitality one step at a time. Some of these might surprise you, and others might be things you've quietly accepted as normal, when, in fact, they deserve a second look. Stay tuned until the end, because the final few habits we'll discuss could change the way you look at your daily choices forever. And more importantly, by becoming aware of these patterns, you'll be empowered to make small changes that could add years to your life. That's not just something nice to hear, it's a gift you can give yourself, starting today. Number 8. Sitting too long without breaks in today's world. Sitting has quietly become one of the most dangerous habits we rarely talk about. And for many older adults, it's become a part of daily life without much thought. Whether it's hours spent in front of the television, long conversations at the dining table, or scrolling through the tablet in a favorite chair, the habit of remaining seated for long periods has deeper consequences than most realize. What seems like harmless relaxation can actually chip away at your health, even if you feel perfectly fine in the moment. When you sit too long without moving, your circulation slows down, your muscles weaken, and your metabolism becomes sluggish. This can raise your risk of heart disease, blood clots, type 2 diabetes, and even some cancers. More subtly, it can affect your posture, joint flexibility, and overall energy levels. It's not just about what sitting prevents you from doing. It's about what it does to your body while you're doing it. Your body was designed for motion, and when it's denied that, systems begin to deteriorate quietly in the background. Take someone like Frank, a 76-year-old retired bus driver who enjoyed his time at home. After decades on the road, he'd earned his rest. But his rest turned into long stretches of time on the couch watching old westerns. Over time, his legs started to feel heavy, his back ached more often, and his energy declined. He chalked it up to aging, but when his doctor encouraged him to stand and walk for just 5 minutes every hour, Frank noticed something surprising. Within a few weeks, he felt stronger, clearer, and less stiff throughout the day. The danger of sitting too long isn't always obvious. You might not feel it creeping in, but it affects your digestion, lung capacity, and even your mood. Depression and low energy are often worsened by inactivity, especially when combined with isolation. And here's something most folks don't consider. Standing or walking, even for a few minutes, activates enzymes that help break down fat in the bloodstream. That means your body handles food better, your cholesterol improves, and your heart gets a little extra support just from standing up and moving a bit more often. If you've developed the habit of settling into your favorite recliner for hours at a time, think of movement not as a chore, but as a gift you can give yourself. It doesn't have to be complicated. It just needs to be consistent. The truth is, you deserve to feel strong, alert, and energized well into your later years. And that starts by choosing motion over stillness whenever you can. Number 7. Skipping sleep regularly. One of the most dangerous habits that often flies under the radar is cutting corners on sleep. Many older adults fall into the trap of believing that less sleep is just a part of aging, or that it's not as important now that they're retired or not working full-time. But consistent sleep deprivation isn't just about feeling a little tired. It sets off a chain reaction in nearly every system in your body. When your sleep is disrupted or shortened, your heart, brain, and metabolism all pay the price. Over time, This increases your risk for heart disease, stroke, memory loss, and even certain types of cancer. For example, if you found yourself waking up frequently at night and brushing it off as something inevitable, that pattern might be more than just a nuisance. It could be a warning signal from your body. People who sleep less than 6 hours a night on a regular basis are shown to have significantly higher levels of cortisol, the stress hormone that wears down your immune system and accelerates aging. It's not just the quantity of sleep either. Poor sleep quality, waking up often, difficulty falling asleep, or sleeping lightly all night can be just as harmful as not getting enough hours. Think about someone like Harold, a 72-year-old widower who used to pride himself on being productive late into the night. He'd stay up watching the news or scrolling through headlines, then sleep just a few hours and wake up early out of habit. For years, he thought this made him more efficient. But when he started forgetting appointments and struggling to maintain his energy through the day, his doctor connected the dots back to his lack of rest. The fatigue wasn't just from aging. It was a signal that his body wasn't getting time to repair and reset. When you sleep, your brain clears out waste proteins that can lead to memory loss and cognitive decline. Your heart rate lowers, your blood pressure stabilizes, and your body produces hormones that regulate everything from appetite to bone health. Missing out on this critical time is like skipping the maintenance on a car for years. Everything might seem fine on the outside until something serious breaks down. You wouldn't ignore an engine light in your vehicle. Why do it with your body? A well-rested person carries themselves differently. They walk with more steadiness, think more clearly, and respond to stress with greater ease. If you've been telling yourself that you just don't need much sleep anymore, I encourage you to gently challenge that belief. Maybe your body's been trying to tell you something for a while now, and maybe, just maybe, listening to it could add several good years to your life. If you're still watching this video and finding these insights valuable, please comment number 7 below to let me know you're here. And if you haven't subscribed yet, I recommend you subscribe and turn on the bell so you don't miss any videos. Your support helps us continue creating good content to inform and inspire you. Now let's move forward. Number 6, ignoring chronic stress. Stress, when left unchecked, doesn't just affect how you feel. It reshapes how your body works over time. That constant hum of tension in your chest or that tightness in your shoulders becomes more than just discomfort. It becomes inflammation, high blood pressure, weakened immunity, and faster cellular aging. Most older adults have learned to power through their worries, keeping their concerns to themselves. But what seems like resilience on the surface can quietly take years off your life when stress goes unaddressed. Many seniors grew up in a time when expressing stress wasn't encouraged. Phrases like, "just get on with it," or "don't make a fuss" were common, and over the decades those messages took root. The problem is that the body doesn't forget what it feels. Even if you've learned to mask your stress, your nervous system is still firing. Cortisol stays elevated. Your heart works harder, your sleep becomes lighter, your digestion slows down, and then eventually things begin to unravel. Not all at once, but steadily and silently. Consider Evelyn, an 80-year-old grandmother who always seemed calm on the outside. She rarely complained, always smiled, and took care of others before herself. But when her doctor noticed her blood pressure was creeping higher and her stomach issues weren't improving, he asked her about her daily routine. It turned out Evelyn was carrying stress about her grown children, her finances, and her health. But she didn't want to burden anyone by talking about it. Once she began journaling her feelings and attending a weekly senior support group, her symptoms began to ease. Her numbers improved, and more importantly, so did her sense of peace. Stress doesn't always look like panic. Sometimes it looks like overthinking, like being easily irritated, like carrying tension in your jaw or your lower back. And sometimes it just looks like sitting quietly while your mind spins. Chronic stress ages the brain, makes it harder to concentrate, and increases the risk of dementia. It makes healing slower and weakens your defenses against infections and inflammation. Most people assume that stress is an emotional problem, but it's very much a physical one too. What helps is not pretending it isn't there, but learning how to process it. This might look like calling a friend and sharing your worries, taking a walk in the fresh air, or practicing breathing exercises each morning. It might mean giving yourself permission to feel what you're feeling, without judgment. You don't need to solve every problem to feel relief. Often, just acknowledging the burden you're carrying allows your body to begin to release it. There's an old saying, the body keeps the score. That's especially true when it comes to stress. You may think you've adapted to years of pressure and worry, but your cells remember, your heart remembers. And if you want those parts of you to keep working well, they need relief. Not just once, but often. That's not weakness, that's wisdom. The weight you carry, and choosing to put it down, is one of the most powerful things you can do for your long-term health. Number 5. Overeating processed foods. It's easy to fall into the habit of reaching for what's fast, familiar, and flavorful, especially when cooking for one or when energy feels low. But the truth is, a steady diet of processed foods can silently chip away at your health with every bite. These convenient items, often packed with preservatives, sodium, and added sugars, aren't just lacking in nutrition. They actively contribute to chronic inflammation, weight gain, and long-term organ damage. And because the effects build up, slowly, many people don't realize the damage until it's already done. Processed foods come in many forms. It's not just the obvious ones like frozen dinners and packaged snacks. Even items that seem harmless, like sweetened cereals, canned soups, flavored crackers, and certain deli meats, can contain hidden ingredients that disrupt your body's natural balance. These foods tend to spike your blood sugar, increase your cholesterol, and overload your system with artificial chemicals. Over time, this constant strain raises the risk of diabetes, heart disease, and even cognitive decline. Let's talk about someone like Carl, a 69-year-old widower who wasn't much of a cook. After his wife passed, he relied on packaged meals and takeout most evenings. It was easier, faster, and gave him one less thing to think about. But when he began experiencing acid reflux, joint pain, and trouble sleeping, his doctor suggested eliminating heavily processed foods for just 2 weeks. The difference was remarkable. His digestion improved, he felt lighter and more alert, and even his joint pain began to ease. This isn't about cutting out every comfort food forever. It's about awareness. It's about understanding that food isn't just fuel. It's information. For your body, every ingredient tells your system something. Artificial additives can confuse your hormones. Excess salt can raise your blood pressure. Refined sugars can cause energy crashes and lead to insulin resistance. And the more these foods dominate your meals, the more they crowd out the nutrients your cells truly need to function and repair. If you find that processed foods make up the majority of your daily intake, consider starting small. Swap out one boxed item for a fresh one. Add a handful of berries instead of sweetened yogurt. Cook a simple soup instead of opening a can. These small changes are powerful, especially when done consistently. Whole foods, things like fresh vegetables, whole grains, nuts, fish, and lean meats, deliver vitamins, antioxidants, and fiber that protect your heart, brain, and immune system. One of the great myths of aging is that your body can't bounce back, but that's not true. Even in your 70s and 80s, your body responds positively when you give it better tools. You'll notice it in your energy, in your sleep, in your mood, and, perhaps most importantly, in your sense of control. When you choose food that nourishes rather than depletes, you're not just adding years to your life, you're adding life to your years. If you're still watching this video and finding these insights valuable, please comment number 5 below to let me know you're here. And if you haven't subscribed yet, I recommend you subscribe and turn on the bell so you don't miss any videos. Your support helps us continue creating good content to inform and inspire you. Now let's move forward. Number 4. Avoiding social interaction. Loneliness doesn't always look like sadness. Sometimes it looks like silence. like sitting in a quiet room with the television on for background noise, like going days without a meaningful conversation. For many older adults, social interaction gradually becomes something optional, something that can be put off until another day. But over time, that lack of connection can take a toll that goes far deeper than most people realize. Avoiding regular human interaction is one of the most underestimated habits that can quietly shorten your life. Studies have shown that chronic loneliness can increase the risk of early death as much as smoking or obesity. That's because connection is a basic human need. It affects how your brain functions, how your immune system responds, and even how quickly your body heals. When you don't engage with others regularly, you're more likely to experience cognitive decline, depression, and weakened resilience to illness. And unlike physical ailments, the signs of social isolation often go unnoticed, until the damage is done. Take the example of Margaret, an 81-year-old woman who had lived in the same house for over 5 decades. After her husband passed and her children moved away, the invitations to social events slowed down. At first, she told herself she liked the peace and quiet, but months turned into years, and she realized she rarely laughed, rarely shared stories, rarely felt seen. It wasn't until her church group started checking in more regularly that she felt the difference. The conversations lifted her spirits, her energy returned, and her motivation to take care of herself improved. What changed wasn't her body, it was her connection to others. Social interaction doesn't have to mean big gatherings or constant phone calls. It can be as simple as chatting with a neighbor during a morning walk, joining a book club or craft circle, or calling a friend just to say hello. Even brief connections release feel-good chemicals in the brain, like oxytocin and serotonin. These natural mood boosters help reduce inflammation, support heart health, and improve sleep. They also strengthen your ability to handle stress and give you something to look forward to each day. There's also a hidden benefit. When you talk to others, you share your story. You remind yourself of your identity, your values, your experiences. This self-expression keeps your memory sharper and your self-worth intact. Many older adults stop engaging because they feel they no longer have anything to contribute. But that couldn't be further from the truth. Your presence, your wisdom, and your kindness can be a gift to someone else. And in sharing yourself, you receive something priceless in return. If you've been spending most of your days alone, consider what one small interaction a day could do for your spirit. It doesn't need to be deep or dramatic. It just needs to be real. The simple act of reaching out, of hearing another voice and being heard, nourishes you in ways no medication or meal ever could. In the end, staying connected may be one of the most life-giving habits of all. Number 3, drinking too little water. It might sound simple, but not drinking enough water is one of the most overlooked habits that can slowly erode your health as you age. Many older adults assume that feeling less thirsty is just a normal part of getting older, and in some ways, it is. But that reduced sense of thirst doesn't mean your body no longer needs hydration. It means you may not recognize when it does. And when your body isn't properly hydrated day after day, the consequences can quietly build up. Water supports every major function in your body, from digestion and temperature regulation to joint lubrication and brain performance. Without enough of it, your blood becomes thicker, your kidneys work harder, and your risk of urinary tract infections and kidney stones goes up. You may feel dizzy more often, tire more easily, and notice brain fog creeping in during conversations or simple tasks. Even mild dehydration can cause changes in mood, appetite, and sleep. Let's look at someone like George, a 75-year-old man who prided himself on his independence. He didn't like to fuss over things and often forgot to drink water unless it was with a meal. Over time, he noticed he was getting constipated more often, feeling lightheaded when standing up, and struggling to stay focused when reading or watching TV. His doctor suggested tracking his water intake for a few weeks, and, sure enough, he was barely drinking half of what his body needed. When he started hydrating more consistently, the difference was profound. He felt steadier, more clear-headed, and even had fewer aches and pains. Staying hydrated doesn't mean gulping down glasses all at once. It means making it a steady part of your day. A glass when you wake up, another with each meal, and a few sips in between. That alone can help maintain balance. Adding lemon slices, cucumber, or even a splash of juice can make it more enjoyable if plain water doesn't appeal to you. And soups, fruits like watermelon and oranges, and herbal teas all contribute to your fluid intake as well. What's most important is listening to the small signs your body gives you: dry mouth, headaches, muscle cramps, or dark-colored urine. These are gentle nudges, warning signals that you're running low on one of life's most basic necessities. Don't wait until you feel parched. By that point, your body is already in distress. Think of water as your internal caretaker. It flushes out toxins, cushions your joints, and keeps everything running smoothly behind the scenes. In the grand scheme of habits that affect your lifespan, drinking enough water might seem too simple to matter. But that simplicity is its strength. It's easy to change, it's within your control, and it has an outsized impact on how you feel each day and how your body weathers the years. Staying hydrated isn't just about today's comfort. It's an investment in your long-term vitality and resilience. If you're still watching this video and finding these insights valuable, please comment number 3 below to let me know you're here. And if you haven't subscribed yet, I recommend you subscribe and turn on the bell so you don't miss any videos. Your support helps us continue creating good content to inform and inspire you. Now let's move forward. Number 2, neglecting regular medical checkups. Many older adults assume that if they feel fine, there's no need to see a doctor. After all, why fix what doesn't seem broken? But here's the truth. Some of the most dangerous conditions are the quietest. High blood pressure, type 2 diabetes, early-stage kidney problems, and even certain cancers often develop with few or no noticeable symptoms. And when these issues aren't detected early, they can progress silently until they have caused lasting damage that could have been prevented, or at least managed better, with timely care. There's a common mindset, especially among seniors, that going to the doctor is only for when something feels wrong. But that belief can cost you. Preventive care exists for a reason, to catch things before they get serious. Regular checkups, lab tests, screenings, and conversations with a medical professional provide a window into what's happening beneath the surface. You might feel energetic and alert, yet still be carrying risks that only a blood test or a pressure cuff can reveal. Think of someone like Alice, a 78-year-old woman who stayed active and ate well. She hadn't seen a doctor in 3 years because she didn't want to be a bother and felt healthy enough. But after a minor fall prompted a hospital visit, tests revealed she had undiagnosed osteoporosis and elevated blood pressure. It was a wake-up call. With a few lifestyle changes and a new medication plan, she regained control of her health. She later said the real gift wasn't the diagnosis. It was the chance to act before things got worse. Regular checkups aren't about overreacting. They're about staying informed and having a clear picture of what your body needs as it ages. That includes monitoring cholesterol, blood sugar, kidney function, and bone density, as well as staying up to date on vaccinations and screenings like colonoscopies or mammograms. Each visit is a chance to course correct, to catch small imbalances, before they spiral into big problems. It's like routine maintenance on a car. If you don't check under the hood, you might not notice the wear and tear until something breaks down on the road. And let's not forget how powerful peace of mind can be when you've had your tests, when you've talked to a doctor, when you know your numbers and understand what they mean. It gives you a sense of control. You no longer have to wonder or worry in the back of your mind. Instead, you're equipped to make smarter decisions, both big and small, about how you live each day. That kind of clarity can ease anxiety and help you enjoy life more fully. If it's been a while since your last checkup, consider making an appointment. Not because something's wrong, but because staying well is worth the effort. Your future self will thank you, and the people who care about you will thank you too. Taking care of your health isn't just about living longer, it's about living better, with fewer regrets and more freedom. Number 1. Smoking or heavy drinking. Some habits are widely known to be harmful, yet they persist because of how deeply they become woven into daily life. Smoking and heavy drinking are two of the most common examples. For many older adults, these habits began decades ago, long before the long-term risks were fully understood. By the time the science caught up, the patterns were already in place. Rituals of stress relief, social bonding, or simply habit. But, regardless of how long you've been smoking or drinking heavily, the damage they cause continues with every puff, every glass, every day they go unchecked. Smoking is one of the leading causes of preventable death worldwide, affecting nearly every organ in your body. It weakens the lungs, hardens the arteries, damages the skin, and suppresses the immune system. Over time, it increases your risk of heart attack, stroke, chronic obstructive pulmonary disease, and multiple types of cancer. And while some people convince themselves it's too late to quit, the truth is that quitting, even in your 70s or 80s, can dramatically improve your health. Within weeks, your circulation improves. Within months, your lung function begins to recover. Within a year, your heart disease risk starts to drop. Heavy drinking brings its own set of dangers. While an occasional glass of wine or beer may not pose a major risk, regular and excessive alcohol use can strain the liver, disrupt sleep, cloud your thinking, and raise your risk of high blood pressure, liver disease, and falls. It can also contribute to depression, especially when used to numb loneliness or emotional pain. For many seniors, alcohol creeps in as a way to pass time or dull discomfort, but over time it takes far more than it gives. Consider someone like Raymond, a 74-year-old retired mechanic who smoked a pack a day for nearly 40 years and ended each night with 2 shots of whiskey. After a bout of pneumonia that landed him in the hospital, his doctor gave him a choice: continue the habit or extend his life. He started with small changes, cutting down slowly, replacing the nightly drink with herbal tea, and joining a local support group. He didn't change overnight, but within a year, his breathing improved, his mood stabilized, and he said for the first time in years, he felt hopeful about the future. It's not about guilt, it's about opportunity. The human body is incredibly resilient. Even after decades of harm, it has an amazing capacity to heal when given the chance. Cutting back or quitting these habits don't just add years to your life, they add clarity, energy, and dignity to those years. They help you move through your day with greater ease, sleep more soundly, and enjoy your time with family and friends with a clearer mind and a stronger body. If these habits have been part of your life for a long time, change might feel intimidating. But every journey starts with a single decision. Maybe it's having one less drink each week. Maybe it's switching to nicotine patches. Maybe it's talking to your doctor or calling a helpline. Whatever the step is, taking it today could mean you'll be here to enjoy more birthdays, more holidays, more ordinary days that feel good to live. And in the end, that's what really matters. Final thoughts as we wrap up this video. Take a quiet moment to reflect on what you've just heard. Which of these 8 habits felt familiar? Which one stirred something in you? A memory, a concern, or maybe even a sense of hope that it's not too late to make a change? The truth is, you're not alone. So many people carry these habits, not because they don't care about their health, but because life gets busy, comfortable, or overwhelming. But awareness is a gift. And now that you've taken the time to learn, you've already taken the first step toward reclaiming your vitality. You don't need to overhaul your life overnight. Start with one change, 1 glass of water, 1 phone call, 1 extra hour of sleep. The power of small decisions done consistently adds up more than most people realize. You still have the ability to steer your health in a better direction. No matter your age, your body may be older, but your influence over it is still strong. Don't underestimate how much control you actually have. If there's one message to carry with you today, it's this. Your life is worth investing in. You matter. Your well-being matters. And the choices you make, even the little ones, are reflection of the care and respect you show to yourself. When you choose health, you choose presence. You choose more time with the people you love, more moments of peace, more strength to enjoy what matters most. Thank you for joining us today. We'd love to hear from you. Leave a comment below and share one thing you learned today and how you plan to use it in your life. Your thoughts are important to us, so don't hesitate to share them. Reading your comments gives us great motivation and encouragement. If you enjoyed this video and found it helpful, please like, subscribe, and share. Your support helps us continue creating good content to inform and inspire you. Thanks for watching, and we look forward to seeing you in the next video.